viewer contributions make local programming possible on WNIN. Become a member of WNIN with your contribution so we can continue to make this programming available. Visit WNIN.org and click on the donate button.
You know, one of the most important words in the dictionary, I think, is teacher. They really have authority, and they do what's done every single day in that classroom. They direct our young people, which is the future of our country and our community. So, I'm sure all of you remember a teacher that had an impact on your life. I know you do. I can think of not one, but many that had an impact on my life and gave me the opportunity to be a teacher. In fact, the happiest day that I had, one of the happiest days of my life, is when I was student teaching at Glenwood School, and the principal asked me when I finished up my term, how would you like to come back and be a teacher here? That was a special day because that was my life, and education has been my life. You know, Liberty Federal Credit Union was started with an educational background. We began the credit union program that we now call Liberty at Boise High School with a group of teachers that wanted to help other teachers. And that happened in 1936. They always kid about Boise High School that those teachers had a huge impact of where we work today. And that is definitely true. Also, I would like to say that began what we knew then as Evansville Teachers Federal Credit Union, because we were built around nothing but teachers. At that point, teachers were only allowed to join the credit union, or if you had some affiliation with the education programming. Well, that's not true today. Today, as a board member, and on behalf of the 280,000 plus members in 3 states, we are honored today to support the Rotarian Classroom Enrichment Grants, because the classroom is where the action is. And all these people that you see here as being honored today, they create that action every single day. At Liberty, we're committed to help make education and educators the primary goal of many of our projects and our programs. Today, we are honoring master teachers, and I want to use that word, master teachers. Whether it's a master's degree or not, these young ladies and these young gentlemen are master teachers. They create unbelievable experiences for all of our young people every single day. They give hard work, dedication, and creativity. And sometimes I think to myself, without the creativity in the classroom, we can't expand those horizons. All of these master teachers that are here today are making a huge difference in what education is all about. I would like to say just 2 words. First, thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your dedication and all the neat things that you do each and every day. You know, teachers don't mold students. They unfold students. They allow those students to make their own choices through the educational programs that they provide each and every day. And I thought that's a great quote that I heard, that they don't mold students, they unfold them. They let them be themselves and define their energies, whatever that might be. As I said before, Liberty Federal Credit Union is a great organization that supports and helps and develops many, many types of programs in this community. We have a great leader in Bill Shermer. He has great insight. He has great knowledge about what's happening and how we get there. Many of you probably know Bill. So we thank him for his dedication and for what he's trying to do in this community. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the different things because the main objective is listening to the programs and the people we're honoring today. But I would like to end with this particular comment. Teaching is a special gift from God. Each day, the good Lord lets us have a chance to unwrap that gift. Thank you, and have a great day, and congratulations to all of the master teachers today.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? You can hear me now? So, first off, congratulations to everybody that's in this room. It's quite an honor to be here. It's a real privilege to be around so many educators that love what we do, right? I know it's a stressful time of year, but it's also a very rewarding time of year. Graduation is coming soon. Yeah. All right. I also want to thank Rotary for giving us the possibility to do some things that are maybe a little bit outside the box. You know, sometimes in grants, we actually get a chance to innovate with these things. So it's a real honor and a privilege to be a part of just all of this. So I got a little presentation. There is a QR code if you're one of those people and you want to take your phone and pay me. I'll get you on the first couple of slides are just promotional material. We always promote our programs in North because we're pretty proud of what we do out there. But I just kind of skipped through all that stuff. Here's where we're at. I have this real big thing about STEM education. I know it makes a huge difference for our students. I've seen it. I've seen kids that didn't have a whole lot of faith in themselves. And after they got done with our programs at our schools, and they found themselves. And they found a place they really wanted to be. So I'm really big right now trying to get us a good just K to work pipeline so that our kids can come in, find something they really enjoy doing, find a reason to really love school. So there's a lot of people in this room, I'm sure, that make school every day just fantastic, So we, next year, I'm very fortunate to get an aerospace class. And I kind of have a hidden reason for that. Right now, I have a freshman course and a sophomore course, and then I don't get to see the kids again. So I cheated just a little bit. Now I can do the third year with them. So then hopefully we'll build into a fourth. But the kids are really excited about aerospace, and I'm not going to lie to you. I'm pretty excited about it too. So I just want to show them how things go through the air, even if it's done. Even if it's done. So we have partnered with a lot of organizations. There is an Experimental Aircraft Association. I'm going to story about that one. We've got the regional airports. We have the Wartime Museum. So we're trying to get in our community and just see what our community wants. Okay, because I know what I want my kids to get, which is just happiness. But our community has the things they want to see too. So that's kind of where we're at. The gentleman, so the picture up here on the left, that is an ugly dude and 3 of his kids. So the guy on the far right texted me at 6:30 in the morning last week to tell me that he got assigned his role as pilot at Purdue. So I got it really through. In the same text, there's always another shoe to dry. He goes, Mr. B, I tore my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus, and Mom's taking care of me right now. And she texted me right after and said, when does this end? The young lady that's right next to me, she is actually at the Air Force Academy in Colorado. She is going to be a pilot as well. So we have people that need that, and I cannot stand when our kids go to college and they're not prepared. I want to give them every opportunity, right? Just like the rest of us do. So that's another reason we try to get aerospace. But here are some other things we do. We are known for this tank that shoots T-shirts. I'd really like to melt it down because it's a pain, but fun stuff. Now here's that story about the experimental aircraft. So I'm reaching out to people and I'm like, how do you want to get involved with our aerospace class? And this guy, Fritz Prin, is the president. He says, hey, how about I take you for a flight next weekend? And I was like, okay. Being the father of the year I am, I said, son, Lucas, would you like to go with me? He goes, kinda. He goes, what does experimental mean? And I'm like, I'm glad you asked, son. Here's what it means. It means don't tell your mother. So of course he broke the bro code and he went right down to tell his mom. But we went up in the air. He got to take care of the flight. I mean, he flew the plane for a couple minutes. I was in the back trying to see if I had any Dramamine left. But he did a fantastic job, and I thought, man, this is going to be great. Our kids are going to have such an opportunity because they're going to work with us at North as well. Hopefully we can get some kids up in the air. So we also will offer drone education. Hopefully we can get some Part 107, which allows kids to take pictures professionally at weddings, do real estate surveys and everything else. And then we're going to get into some auto racing. One of the reasons we want to do that is it's obviously severe dynamics, but because of that, we can show about safety. We can talk about the different technologies and materials that we have and how they've really changed. Just like one, but so our grant, we're getting the flight simulators, what it comes down to. So I really wanted to give our kids the most authentic thing I could possibly give them. And upside of putting them in a plane, we do have a long enough runway in North we could do it. We could pull it off, especially after I've been in that experimental aircraft. But we've got a simulator coming where we'll get a flight stick controls. There's pedals to drive a plane. It's not a gas pedal either, but it's interesting. Our boss, he tried to fly one time. I won't mention how it went, but we're also going to have a racing simulator. The kids are extremely excited about it. These are opportunities that we don't get without Rotary. We don't get without Liberty taking care of us, okay? And I encourage all of you, and I'm so happy you're all here. Shows that you're into what you do and you're innovative, but keep on keeping on. Yeah. Thank you all very much.
Can you hear me now? Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much to the Rotary Club for this great lunch and inviting us here today. I am Michelle Gamache, and I serve at St. John the Baptist Catholic School through Youth First as their mental health professional there. And it's just been an honor to get to work with the kids and their amazing staff. It's just a great, I feel like my family to be a part of that. So first, I want to thank the Rotary Club on behalf of our school, our staff, and most especially our students for this generous grant. We will be putting some foam kits in all of our classrooms. We're really excited about that. At St. John's, I have the honor of working with our students in pre-K all the way through 8th grade, which is a beautiful thing to see our older kiddos mentor some of our younger kiddos. But every day we have kids who face some pretty big emotions, like anxiety, anger, sadness, frustration, and sometimes just overwhelm. State testing has been kind of overwhelming sometimes for them, and maybe our staff a little. But our staff is just amazing. While they're teaching math and science, religion, we're also responsible for their mental health and emotions at times and classrooms. And the faster we can get them ready to learn the faster they can get through our lessons and keep going. So like I said, this grant's going to allow us to place calm kits in every single class in our building. Well, and you see this green weighted blanket, that is one we actually took a picture of that we use in a classroom with a student, and it helps a lot. So we get some of that sensory input for that student and help them regulate again in the classroom. So each kit will include age-appropriate tools to help the students regulate their emotions and reset so that they don't feel so overwhelmed. There's going to be stress balls, fidget tools, sensory timers. And I had a student in my office earlier today with a timer, and they were like, oh, my time's up. I'm going to go back now. So this kind of it was really cute. As I mentioned, the weighted blankets. We're going to put some breathing cards and some calm down cards in there and just some calming visuals to help our students to use independently and responsibly. You always say, it's a tool, not a toy. If you work with kids with fidgets, you know. So we want to give our students a safe and respectful way to calm down and focus in the classroom and return back to learning, perhaps without leaving the classroom, and to get back to our instructional time as fast as we can. It will also give our teachers immediate tools in the classroom to help de-escalate challenges and to avoid disruptions. So it's going to be a proactive approach, a practical approach, and definitely rooted in our loving care for our students. I am also very excited to share that this project was inspired by one of our 8th grade students as well. She has a big heart for students, and we have something called a passion project in 8th grade, and hers was on pain therapy. So now the student gets to help apply that entire project in just an amazing roundabout way to help assemble the kits, help get the students, maybe even the middle schoolers, excited about helping assemble the kits and put these into our classrooms. So with this project, we're going to be reaching over 460 students, not just the ones that might come through my office, but every child in our building. So we anticipate the impact to be promote emotional regulation with our students, increase their self-awareness, fewer classroom disruptions, a stronger sense of calm and safety and support throughout our school in our positive learning environments. And in closing, I just want to thank the Rotary Club again. Thank you all for your work with students and for everyone believing in the mental and emotional wellness of our students. And this grant will truly help to create calmer classrooms, kinder kids, and a stronger future for all of us. So we are deeply grateful. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I would first like to give a huge thank you to the Rotary Club of Evansville for having all of us here today and to celebrate teachers and all of the different ideas that we each bring to the table. I always say that all of us bring a little bit of something different to the table, which is what gives all of our children so many wonderful experiences in their education. Okay, so here we go. My grant this year is, well, first of all, I'm Amy Hassler. Amy Hassler. I am a first grade teacher at Resurrection Catholic School. And since about 2016, I thought of myself as somewhat of a classroom transformer. And what that means to me is that I like to transform my classroom and create something new, give my classroom make it look like a new environment. It might be a campsite, it might be a surgery room, it might be a glow arena. And in order to give my students new experiences, take those difficult lessons or the boring lessons, we know they're out there, and make them fun for the kids so that my students are then excited about coming to school, they're excited about what they're learning, and they're engaged. And so this year, my grant that I wrote is for the consumables for all of the different transformations that I do in my classroom. Now, I'm going to tell you that over the years, every transformation that I have done has been funded in some way, shape, or form through the Rotary Club of Evansville, as well as Liberty Federal Credit Union. So I have been beyond blessed, and the children that I've taught over the years have been blessed by the generous funding and support for myself and of all of our teachers. So my grant was for the consumables. So we'll talk about those consumables as we move forward through my slideshow. So first of all, we have the case of missing punctuation. Now, it's no crime to know that learning should be fun, right? And so my little super sleuths come into the classroom to find that we are all going to be working in our very own detective agencies, and they have their own personal files, and they're going to work to crack the code and find the missing punctuation. And so my grant that I went for this year, the consumables that I'm going to be needing are just tablecloths that are the plastic coated that are reusable. Each year I'm going out to Dollar Tree and buying the plastic tablecloths, and there's always someone who wants to tear a hole of those things. So I'm buying them again and again. So I'm wanting to get the more sturdy tablecloths for each of my transformations, as well as just needing the new fuzzy mustaches, because the kids love being able to leave the school building that day And I tell them, go ask your parents. I must ask you a question. Do you want to know what I did in school today? So at any rate, the fuzzy mustaches are a hit. So those are the consumables that I'm asking for that particular lesson. Then our Italian restaurant book tasting. Now, we know as teachers, we want our children to have a hunger for learning, right? And so at the beginning of our school year, about a month in, I bring accelerated reading to the table for my students. And so to kind of introduce that and give my children the opportunity to taste different genres, different authors, to find the type of books that they're interested in, we have a book tasting Italian style. So I set it up like a little Italian restaurant, and the kids come in, they have aprons to wear and the chef hats, and I have Italian music playing in the background. And so they then are able to move table to table during our time and just sample all of the different types of genres just to find where their love of reading is going to begin. And so the consumables for this one, again, are the plastic coated tablecloths that I can continue to reuse. And then I need some new plastic little frames. That's where I put like the table numbers or directions, and those tend to be falling apart. And so I need more of those. Next, we have building number bonds construction zone. And so my little construction crew, they walk into a hard hat only zone. And during this particular transformation, my kiddos are working to form number bonds so that they can make addition equations. And so during this one, they have a partner and they have their toolbox full of task cards with number bonds, and they work together to form those addition equations. And so with this one, they wear their hard hats and they have little vests, they have the toolboxes. And what I would like to add to this for next year, the years to follow, are some orange tablecloths that, again, are the durable ones. And we need some additional hard hats and a few new vests just for the expanding classroom sizes for the next year. Camp Ronoa. Hi ho, it's off to camp we go. Every year on the 100th day of school, my kiddos, we go camping. All right, and this is the beauty of a transformation, is that we don't leave the classroom before going camping. And they feel like they're camping. So the kids have stations and they rotate around the room participating in fun little 100th day activities. They're building tents out of marshmallows and toothpicks. They are building, they're making s'mores, and they are flashlight reading, and they have a ball. It's probably one of my absolute favorite days of the school year. And so the consumables that were within my grant that I'm needing are just new flashlights, little mini flashlights. And I will tell you that in researching, little teacher tip, it's cheaper to buy new flashlights than it is to buy the batteries for them. So I'm asking for additional mini flashlights and some additional vests and hats just for the growing class sizes. Compound word surgery. Now, if you're looking for any kiddos who can stitch up words to make compound words, I've got a few recommendations. My students have surgery, they become surgeons. And so they walk into the classroom and they have to get their surgery gear on. They're wearing their surgical caps and their masks. They've got their surgical gowns on and their gloves, and they become surgeons. And so they are working to stitch up words to make compound words. And we've got the beep, beep, beep in the background, which sometimes drives people around me crazy. I live in connecting classrooms, but at any rate, this gives them a hands-on opportunity. Kids like to make compound words, but this was something that they won't ever forget. And so what I asked for in the grant for the consumable items, again, new tablecloths that will withstand the test of time, and also additional surgical caps, gloves, masks, and then some gowns. I keep the gowns from year to year, but over the year, still big on the kids so we can step on them and they're starting to rip. So just some new gowns as well. We wrap up our first grade school year with Go Games. And this is just a fun way to review some of our more important standards throughout the year. So we have math activities, reading activities, phonics activities, and everything is glowing in the dark. Now, this one is where a lot of my grant consumables are needed, because a lot of those things just are good for one day, like the cone sticks. I hang larger glow sticks from the ceiling, as well as glue tape that goes on the floor and on sheets around the classroom. And I'm asking also in my grant for a few additional things that are not consumable, but just some fun things for the kids, like a glow-in-the-dark Connect 4 and a glow-in-the-dark tic-tac-toe and a glow-in-the-dark cream pots, and also some glow-in-the-dark cups. The kids had a stacking activity last year, and those cups were wonderful, but they didn't glow in the dark, so to speak. So that's what we're looking for this particular transformation. You'll see these kiddos are happy and smiling, and that's because they have found a love of learning, and they have found that learning can be fun. Not everything can be bells and whistles, but sometimes we can bring that magic to the classroom. And so they're smiling, I'm smiling, and we're very, very thankful to the Rotary Club of Evansville and Liberty Federal Credit Union for giving us that magic and allowing us to have that magic in our classroom, because you're providing us with something that I would never, ever be able to do on my own. So we are sincerely, sincerely grateful. Thank you.